Welcome to Boys episode 184.
184 episodes.
I'm Robbie Ray.
I'm Joshua. That sideswiped me there for a second.
What's that?
We've done 184 of these.
Closing in on that big 200 in the sky.
Getting close. It feels exactly like I feel about my age. I turned 38 in 2 weeks.
Yeah, you do.
And that is 2 years closer to 40, which is very close to... You might as well just put the final nail in the casket.
Dude, I think about it all the time. Come February, I'll be 39.
Wow.
And I remember being a boy and going to one of my dad's friends' over-the-hill party.
Yeah.
And, you know, I'm sure all the gifts were from Spencer Gifts.
Yeah, or like we didn't have like a Christie's toy box, maybe,
Yes.
some of that stuff.
Yeah, because, you know, they sell more than dildos. They sell party supplies.
They do sell party supplies.
They sell stink bombs.
Stink bombs, yeah.
Which, man, I haven't thrown a stink bomb.
Do they still make them? They were like a bag, right?
No, they were like a glass vial.
Okay.
It was like a cylinder, and then the top of the vial, oddly enough, kind of looked like a butt plug. And it had like a little pinched part, almost like an hourglass in the middle. And I think when you broke it, the two liquids maybe mixed when it hit the ground.
Like James Bond
yeah,
villain
dude,
thing?
some fucking Breaking Bad shit. But I remember this party like it was yesterday, even though it was probably 25, 30 years ago. 30 years ago, probably. And I remember, you know, the normal fare, the gravestones, like the banner that's made of gravestones, the cane.
Yeah.
Did we talk about this on the last ep?
We brought up the cane with the mirror on the bottom.
Yeah, the mirror.
Which
and
is
then
pervy as fuck.
The honk.
The horn honk.
Yeah, it's like, so I'm old, so now I'm going to look up skirts.
Yeah, I'm all of a sudden just a pervert. That's
Yeah.
how that is. The chocolate cake that's like a grave.
Mm-hmm.
But here's the thing. Thinking about that, my dad had the exact same 40th birthday. And I've seen pictures of this recently. And my thought is, my dad was a young, handsome... He was 40. He was in the military. He was in shape. He was a handsome man.
Was this pre-saltines and mayonnaise?
Probably around that time.
Okay.
Well, yeah, he wasn't quite... Yeah, it's pre-saltines and mayonnaise. He was still pretty fit.
He hadn't acquired the taste yet.
Not the taste of mayo.
Yeah, on a saltine.
On a saltine.
In your recliner.
But
I'm halfway there.
Not nary a gray hair on his head. He looked great. And I'm thinking, I'm 38. You're 39.
I'm 38.
38. My brother turns 40
Not
next
yet.
month.
Okay.
We look fine.
Yeah.
We're not old.
Yeah, but you know, man, I'm starting to see the cracks. Like, I am very thankful that I am blessed with boyish, I don't want to say boyish good looks, but boyish looks. Getting out of the shower, like when we were getting ready for the show a couple weekends ago, I shaved up, you know, I had to look the part. Had to get in there and wash my ass, you know, and spike my hair and
spike your hairy ass.
well, yeah, that's the next show.
Ooh.
When we do the naked one. But I'm like drying myself off, and you know, whoever invented the layout of the modern bathroom can eat my ass, because why do you want to see yourself soaking wet in a mirror that oddly enough ends right at my sack? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, give me like a crackhead mirror, like a rear view mirror to look at myself.
That's all, or like a compact mirror that girls get. That's all I need.
Exactly. I don't need a full body shot of my naked, hairy ass.
Have you been to a modern hotel recently?
Oh yeah, the floor to ceiling mirrors.
Thing, and you're sitting down to take a shit. I'm staring at myself taking a shit.
Exactly. Now I have seen some bathrooms where the mirror is right in front of it's like a wall spanning mirror that includes, you know, stepping out of the shower. You got your his and her sinks.
Yeah, I don't need that.
And then I never understood the toilet mirror. You know, when I'm on the toilet doing my business, I'm looking at my phone. I'm getting the red rings above my knees from my elbows sitting there.
Yeah, it's been there so long.
Way too long. In fact, last night, nature called, and I had to head to the restroom. And it was a quiet night around the Harris house. Little one was laying down, getting ready for bed, watching her iPad. You know, the normal landing gear down type thing. Sure. Kate was in the living room finishing up the show Schitt's Creek. All the Netflix available episodes.
Great show.
Funny show, man. I slept on that show for a long time.
But speaking of shits,
I was taking one.
Yeah.
Or trying to. I am getting older. And I'm sitting there and I'm looking at Reddit. You see, I have two Reddits. I have a good boy Reddit and I have a naughty boy Reddit. And I have two apps.
Do you do your naughty boy Reddit on like a incognito mode?
Yeah. Well, no.
Does that even do anything?
No, I have 2 apps. I have
okay.
I have the official Reddit app
Okay.
for my good boy Reddit, and then I have some janky ass like shitty. I don't even think it's in the app
Third
store
party
anymore.
Reddit.
Hasn't been updated in forever. That's my naughty boy Reddit. When I'm feeling a little naughty, I thumb on over to that one and have a look at some butts and whatever else I'm going to look at.
Sure.
You know? So I'm on the good boy Reddit, and I'm just catching up on the news of the day. You know, bombings and world war starting, all
Drone
that.
strikes,
Yeah,
all
all that
kinds
good
of-
stuff.
yeah.
Though that austere scholar and that supreme leader that we fucking killed, like, you know, all that good stuff.
All that stuff.
And
Australia's on fire. Lots of crazy.
yeah, that's cool. Yeah, anyways, it's really sad. I'll get to that later. So I'm scrolling, just catching up on the news of the day. And then from the living room, I hear, "Babe, are you all right?" And I realized I had been sitting on the toilet for 27 minutes. Nary a log.
Nothing even out.
No, I sat down and I got so enthralled with the day's stories, news, video game news, you know, movie news,
Sure.
music news.
That your brain tells your body, hold up a second. Let's put a kibosh on that shit for just a second. I got to find out the news, and then maybe we'll see where we're going with this.
Well,
shit.
I got to find the perfect article to read, and then
To settle in?
Kerclunk, then it's on, baby.
See, I often wonder about this. We talked about this on previous episodes way in the past about not shitting technique, but not really being taught how to properly go to the bathroom. You know what I mean? Like when are you supposed to go? Like, I don't go until I need to go.
Right.
I don't ever feel like I should probably go sit down. I'm like,
I feel one coming on.
Yeah, I'm
it's
like-
always the mad dash. Like, it's now.
it's yeah.
You're throwing your shit down.
Because I don't want to be
literally-
sitting in a bathroom for 27 minutes
Yeah.
waiting for a turd. And I'm sorry, guys. We started out
I know.
blue.
I know. Or brown. But I'm sitting there and I'm just, you know, fully entranced in my phone and
Yeah.
and ended up being in there for I think about 35 minutes totally. I just man, it's my quiet time.
I get it. You have a little one now, so it's like you gotta find your time where you can find your time.
It's much like Scott Stapp said, I'm building my own prison, and that prison is the shitter. It's the bathroom.
Okay, all right.
Pretty cool, yeah.
That is
All right.
pretty cool.
Good way to start the show.
Party on.
We're going to get right to the show.
Right.
A very special episode.
Yeah.
Dare I say a very special episode.
Mm-hmm.
But first, we're going to knock these ads out. BoysPodcast.com. It's a hub of all things boys. There you will find links to our Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, as well as the golden donate button. But I ask something different this week.
What is that?
Do not donate to us.
Okay.
I want you to take that finger or thumb, depending on how you use your phone, depending on your screen
What
size.
we were just talking about, I'm worried where this is going.
I want you to stick it right up the internet. I want you to, donate. Donate to Australia. I threw in a little money a couple days ago. It wasn't much. I'm not bragging. I'm a simple man. Simple means, simple tan. Donate a little bit to them, man. Like even $10, $5. You know, if everybody in the United States donated $10, I know you hear this all the time, but
Right.
it's true. And those people and animals and the land, I mean, it just really needs our help. So, you know, I'm going to get off my soapbox.
Yeah.
But give a little if you can. And fuck boys. Wait, forget boys this week.
Yeah, and dude, I totally agree. That you should do that. Boys is available on iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud, YouTube, and Spotify. On Spotify, search us all one word, all lowercase, Boys Podcast. They are every single episode of our show, all the way back to episode 1.
All of them.
All there for your enjoyment. While you're there, click on the. What are you doing?
Subscribe. Follow, whatever they call
whatever
it.
you could do wherever. On iTunes, SoundCloud, Stitcher. If you're an old man like me, I'm a Stitcher guy. Subscribe and share it.
Email us, boys@boyspodcast.com. Send us some feedback. Throw your physical address in the bottom of the email. We'll send you out some free stickers. I think I shouted it out last episode, but I'm going to shout it out again.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks, Harold. Swung by, got a hat. Appreciate it. I did do an inventory count. I found one extra. We have 2 boys' hats left. Only 2.
We have a listener who is owed a goddamn hat.
Go get the guy a hat.
I gotta. You know what?
Let the boy wear the hat.
I'm bringing you your hat, dude.
All right.
It's coming. Thank you to our sponsors, Anthem. The cool crack of a cold Anthem.
That was a crack, my friend.
Located at 901 Southwest 4th Street. That's where the tap room is.
That'd be 908.
Southwest 4th Street,
All right.
OKC. Downtown OKC.
It's a good place. It's a good establishment.
Great establishment. They have great things going on
All the time.
nightly.
Yeah.
All the time. They have great beers on draft. They always put their new and experimental shit on there for you to try out. Go check them out. Check out their merch. They always have really cool T-shirts and hats and jackets and all kinds of crazy cool stuff. And you can pick up a boy sticker there.
I'm going to go as far as to say their merch game is on point. Is that still relevant and cool
I
to
agree.
say?
And tonight I'm drinking an Anthem Herb Stout because you know it's January. It's getting colder. Not winter cold, but there's a nip in the air.
It's a manageable cold. But it is indeed cold.
It is cold. Fat Bison. FatBison.com. Fat Bison on Instagram. Fat Bison on Facebook. Wherever you can find Fat Bison, just search for the man.
Yeah.
Fat Bison.
He's there. He's out there and he's waiting.
He's waiting for you. He's waiting to make you the sign or the wooden accoutrement of your life.
Of your dreams.
Of your dreams. It's going to change your world.
Nothing is sweeter than a fresh piece of wood from Fat Bison.
I totally agree. Champion Vintage, champion_vintage _OKC on Instagram. Give them a like. Give them a follow. Say hi. Buy some shit from Champion.
Lastly, thank you for the donations. Not this week. No. Previous donations.
But I'll say
very much.
Thank you for donating in advance
All right.
to Australia.
There you go. Straight from the man himself, Josh Montgomery. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you for the feedback. Most importantly, thanks for telling a friend. Thank you for telling a friend. Thank you. Thank you. And thank you. And thank you. Happy holidays. Kiss my ass. Kiss his ass.
Kiss your ass.
Happy Hanukkah. Seriously, folks. The telling of a friend is the key to Boys on Tap. Week after week. Fresh content. Some may say quality episodes.
That's to be debated.
Tell a friend. Earn a jewel on your crown in heaven. Also, we have a hotline. 405-582-0242. Give it a call. You'll hear my voice prompting you to leave a message. Anything you were going to put in that email, throw it on the hotline. We might play it on the show. If you want to, I'll tell you what, if you want to send an accompanying email giving us a heads up that you left something on the hotline,
To remind us to check.
We'll send you the stickies.
Leave us a song if you have a little ditty.
I like that.
Maybe if you got a cool impression for us, give us that. I really like that. And a show idea, maybe a shout out. You want to give a shout out to somebody. Do your own cameo. That's a big thing right now, right? Celebrity cameo.
Oh, yeah.
Shout out to your grandmother, happy 88th birthday, or happy 40th birthday, you old fuck friend of mine.
Who was that guy on was it the Today Show or Good Morning America that it would be the birthdays by Smuckers?
Oh, it was the first Ronald McDonald. Oh, what the fuck was his name? She's 77 years young.
It wasn't Casey Kasem.
No, it was the fucking, what's his name?
I forget. Getting
Al
old.
Roker? No,
it wasn't Al Roker, but Al Roker did shit his pants. Do you remember that story?
I do.
That was like a pre-meme meme. Al Roker shit his pants.
Yeah. Crazy world we live in.
I'll tell you what. Let's get to the show. We got a lot to talk about tonight.
We sure do.
Or do we? Episode 184. Now on with the show.
Willard Scott was the guy's name.
That's it.
And I know I loved watching Willard Scott on the Today Show or Good Morning or whichever one it is. There's so many of those morning shows.
Oh yeah.
But I remember that being a thing when I was a kid. My mom told me that, he was Ronald McDonald. I'm like, no, it's Ronald McDonald. Ronald McDonald's Ronald McDonald.
He ain't even wearing the shoes. What the fuck?
Have you gone back and looked at the old Ronald McDonald shit? Scariest shit you'll ever see in your life.
Dude, speaking of, it's a great topic to start the show with. So when my dad was a boy, there was a TV show that was very popular, probably nationwide, especially here in the Midwest, back in the old black and white TV days.
Ah, yes.
Howdy Doody. Do you
Yeah.
remember Howdy Doody?
I remember it being vintage when I was a kid. You know,
Yeah, exactly.
and I remember my dad would talk about that. So we'd watch Howdy Doody. We didn't. By the time we got a TV in my house, I was already too old for Howdy, like that kind of shit.
Yep. I caught some of it by proxy growing up because it would come on, which was like old-timey TV when I was a kid. So yeah, it was super old. I think it came out in like the 50s.
Yeah, yeah.
Maybe 40s, maybe
When
40s
TV
to
started.
60s. Yeah,
probably 50s.
Probably 50s. Black and white. And the titular star of the show was a puppet, a red-headed or gray-headed, if you had a black and white TV, puppet, Western young man named Howdy Doody.
With freckles.
Yeah, real creepy.
Very
Real
creepy.
creepy.
Really creepy.
Well, my dad gave me many years ago. He was cleaning out some storage at his house, and he ran across this Howdy Doody doll. And it's probably, 2 feet tall. Body is made of cloth. The head is plastic. It's not a ventriloquist dummy, but there's a little cord you can pull behind his head, like the base of his neck, and his mouth opens, and it makes the creepiest chattery, like just adds to the creepiness.
Is this a legit, like, vintage old school
Yes.
Howdy Doody doll?
He's dressed in Western attire with cowboy boots.
He pretty much looks like Woody from Toy Story, right?
No. Yes and no. Woody, but with red hair and much, much creepier.
Okay.
I mean, like nightmare shit. It's
I'm
scary.
sure.
Well, I have it at the house, and it's up in a closet in the hallway.
Yeah.
And the little one discovered it
Oh, no.
a few days ago. And I had a real dad moment. Because, like, the jokester in me wanted to, like, tease her with it.
Scare her with it.
Yeah, which I did a little bit. I, like, pulled it down, and I, like, clicked its jaw, and I was like, hello, I'm Howdy Doody. Hello.
Creepy.
Yeah, great voice to choose. And then I went, hi. No, I didn't. But very creepy doll.
That's going to be in my nightmares.
The little one, as you could probably guess, did not like it.
No.
At all.
I would assume.
Then
Kids don't like puppets.
No. I realized I made a big mistake because that night when we were putting her to bed, she was like, I'm scared. That doll's going to get me.
You fucked yourself.
So, yes, I did. I played myself. So I told her, I said, hey, I got rid of the doll. I threw the doll away.
He can't hurt you.
I didn't throw the doll away.
No, it's put back up in that closet.
Well, it was haphazardly thrown at the top of the closet where if she, had the gumption to open said closet, maybe get on a little step stool or a chair or something, she'd see it.
Right.
And I thought, I said that just, to smooth things over.
Yeah,
Oh, the
just-
doll's gone.
yeah.
Don't worry. I got rid of the doll.
Fan the flame.
Then I'm laying in bed with Kate a little bit later. I'm like, I should probably hide that doll.
Yeah.
I should, because if I told the little one that the doll is gone and then she finds the doll,
She's going to freak out.
well, 2 things could happen. One, Robbie Ray's a big fat liar, and you lied to me.
But
I lied to a 5-year-old kid.
But a 5-year-old's brain doesn't go there. The 5-year-old's brain goes to the second one, which I'm assuming you're going to say is the goddamn doll's alive,
It came
and
back.
it's coming back for me to kill me.
Exactly, and
Yeah.
that's probably the default
Yeah.
response. So what I did is I got an old pillowcase, like a real heavy, dark pillowcase, put the doll in the pillowcase, wrapped it up real tight, put some rubber bands around it so it wouldn't like poke out, which made it look like a fucking body bag and very creepy and gross.
So if she finds that, that's tacking on even more
Yes.
and frightening shit. Like, so he got rid of it, but he had to kill it.
Yes, and I'm saving it.
Or it's imprisoned in this bag,
Exactly.
and it's gonna get out.
But, of course, in my mind, I'm joking around with Kate, and I'm like, maybe I should put it on the front porch. And then, of course, I'm kidding. I'm not going to torment a child, but,
Maybe I should glue a knife in its hand and put it next to her door. What the fuck?
It's all part of being a dad and doing this dad role.
Sure,
It's
sure.
like, a little trolling's fun, a little messing around.
Permanently scar a child. That's,
No, yeah. That's what I
that's
do.
parenthood,
Right.
right?
So, yeah, I wrapped the doll up. It's safely, like, I put it behind some some sheets and comforters up in the linen
I put it behind
closet.
some gargoyles and some other,
Right, some pentagrams, some
just other shit.
fake blood, all that.
A goat's head. It'll be fine.
It's all good. It's in good company now. But yeah, so I made sure it was very well hidden.
Mm-hmm.
But now part of me is like, someday because thing about kids, they like to prowl.
Oh yeah,
I was a prowler when I was a kid.
dude. I thought I was the sleuthiest of sleuths when I was a kid.
What'd you prowl?
Oh, I would. If you left me alone in a room for longer than like a few minutes, I'm going through everything.
There was a time when I was between about the ages of like 12 and 15. I lived with my grandma. Well, my father got a divorce from my mother when I was probably around 13-ish. So we did what you got to do in that situation. We packed up our shit and we moved to grandma's, grandma and grandpa's, which was great. I loved my grandma so much.
A little interim living for
Yeah. Like, I'm pretty sure I slept on a pull-out mattress for a year, 8 months at least.
Oh, the most comfortable mattress too.
Oh yeah, especially those vintage ones. I slept like a king.
Sleeping on a whale's rib.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But the beauty of my grandparents' house back then, my grandpa was always into like garage sales, swap meets, auctions, things like that. He loved buying and selling junk.
Yeah, he's my kind of guy.
Oh yeah. You cut from the same cloth. But oh, dude, the prowling potential was just off the charts, man. So one time I'm like prowling through my grandma's room, which prowling through a grandma's room is a weird feeling. If you're lucky enough that your grandma's still alive, by all means, go prowl through a room today.
Prowl through that room.
So I'm prowling. I'm trying to find stuff, and I came across some like nude photos that my grandpa had, and they weren't my grandma.
Well, we know now, and if you're a regular listener of the show, you know how Robbie's grandpa likes to get down.
He's a
horny old man.
He's a horny guy. He had some nude photos, and they were like old. Do you remember when photos were square?
Yeah,
And they weren't like Polaroids, but they were just old photos that like rounded edges,
like
square.
white border. Yeah.
He had some nude photos, but it wasn't my grandma because I've seen young pictures of my grandma. It clearly wasn't her, and they weren't like super pornographic. It was just like topless.
Yeah.
Boobs, maybe a huge bush, from like the 50s or 60s.
Maybe pictures of old flames.
Maybe so. He also had a keychain that was this pewter keychain. I think I've talked about this on the show before, but you know what? Fuck it. It was a pewter keychain with a little lever action thing, and it was a man and a woman. And the woman was bent over, and the man was grabbing her by the hips, and you could move this lever, and he was like boning her.
So that's the precursor to the ink pen with the naked girl on it, and you turn it upside down.
Had one of those too, where the bikini would just slide off, which I thought was the coolest shit.
Oh yeah, or like playing cards that were naked ladies.
Yeah, that was the first vagina I ever saw. Was on a playing card.
That's a raunchy playing card,
dude. It was real raunchy. I was at the deer woods with my dad hunting with a bunch of his friends out in Atoka, Oklahoma. And my dad had this friend who we refer to him as Cousin Billy. He was not related to us, but we called him Cousin Billy. He was like my dad's really good friend growing up. So, and they one night, after we went hunting, the sun set, we made our way back to camp to eat some chili.
Yep.
Have a campfire.
Maybe some saltines and mayonnaise.
Maybe. I was playing. I borrowed an original Game Boy from the kid that lived across the street from me for my hunting trip because I was like, well, what the fuck am I going to do? I had some comic books. I had that classic boy backpack. I had some comics in there. I had some candy. I had like a drawing pad and some pencils.
Shit that is unnecessary in the woods.
Yes.
But when you're 13 years old, you need something to stimulate the brain.
I got to catch up on my X-Men.
That's true.
And yeah, they're sitting around a table. They have one of those huge military-style tents that could sleep like 30 people.
Yeah.
And they were sitting around playing cards one night and drinking beer, and Cousin Billy showed me one of the cards. Like I walked up, like, what are you guys doing? My dad, of course, was like hiding the cards, didn't want me to see him. And my Cousin Billy, who's as country as it comes.
Oh, yeah.
For instance, he pronounces things like winders.
Yeah.
I've never heard the guy say window.
Winder.
He said, yeah, she just crawled right in the winder. No, busted out my winder.
If he's going to wash his car, he's going to.
Well, you going to wash the body?
He's gonna wash. You can wash.
He's gonna wash his windows after
Yeah.
his body. You
Gotta
know?
wash the windows.
He showed me one of the cards, and it was like a very hairy. These cards were probably from the late 70s, early 80s.
Oh, okay.
Very hairy parts. And I remember he leaned over, he goes, looks like hamburger meat, doesn't it? And he was referring to her nethers, you know. So that was the first one I ever saw. But anyways, back to my grandparents' house. Hamburger meat. Super prowlable, dude.
Yeah.
Like on the prowlability scale, 1 to 10, 10 being the best, it was probably like a 9.
I think grandma's houses are always high on the prowlability scale. My grandma's house in Arkansas, it was a single level house. Well, it had a basement, but it was like built on a hill, so the basement had its own like entire downstairs. But there's a bedroom and everything down there, and it was. Tell me if your grandma's house was like this to you. There was always something a little scary about parts of it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Like there was like uncharted waters.
Yeah, like I don't know what's in there.
Like the back of the closet.
Mm-hmm.
There'd be like weird old stuff in there, and I
Yeah.
didn't know what it was, or it'd be like old clothes that they hadn't touched in years.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, that was always off limits. But like drawers,
Yeah,
like chest of drawers, oh dude, gold mine.
yeah. What you got in there?
Let me at it. Like I'm wiggling my fingers, like I just saw a delicious sandwich that I want to eat.
What else did you find that?
That was really it.
Yeah?
Like old mail, like boring shit. Some loose change, which I put in my pocket.
Of course.
You know, as you do as a terrible kid. But yeah, one day the little one's going to go prowling and find this. But what do I do, Josh? Because I don't want to get rid of this doll. It's kind of sentimental that it was my dad's.
Well, it's
when
a
he was
collector's
child.
item.
It might be worth a few
It's
bucks.
your dad's. It's something you're going to want to hold on to.
Do I take it back out to my dad's?
I think here's what you do. Maybe we'll put it up outside.
Hanging from a tree, swaying.
No,
in
in the studio outside.
Oh yeah, maybe I could give it like a nice shoebox to like stuff it in. It'd probably fit in a shoebox.
Yeah.
And then like tape it up, make a little time capsule.
Or if you want to keep the let's scare the shit out of this kid thing going,
Nah, don't.
you can hide it somewhere in the house for her to find.
See, I thought about that. I thought about like doing like Elf on the Shelf, but like from Nightmares, and like putting it on the toilet one morning, or like, you know what I mean? Just like,
Dude, that's scary shit.
yeah. I think the Elf on the Shelf is kind of creepy. Like it has that weird, creepy face.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure when Elf on a Shelf started, but it was after our time. So we were too old to get Elf on a Shelf.
Yeah.
But when I found out about it, it always creeped me out because we're already lying to kids and saying that this overweight man wearing all red comes into your house at night while you're sleeping, and he's going to leave you something. But also, he knows when you're sleeping. He knows when you're awake.
That he does.
He knows when you've been bad or good. Be good for goodness sake. We all know that. As an adult man, that's creepy as fuck. Then you add a tiny little elf that lives on a shelf. And during the day, he stays there. But at night, he roams around.
He runs
He prowls
amok.
the house.
He
does his
does.
we little prowling.
He gets into trouble. He
Which
might get into some cookies or candy.
Which is, why are we telling kids these tales about creepy things?
Yeah, it's all good and fun when you're a kid, I guess. I don't
Okay,
know.
we're going to go back to this Willard Scott, which started the whole thing. His Ronald McDonald was scary as fuck. Clowns are inherently creepy,
Oh yeah.
but yet they're always kids' parties. Let's have a clown.
Mm-hmm.
Or what's another? Puppets. Puppets are inherently creepy, but kids' shows are filled with puppets.
Yeah.
I was always scared shitless of puppets, not because of like Chucky dolls or anything like that. It was a Twilight Zone episode I saw when I was a very, very young child, and it was the puppet that, do you remember that Twilight Zone episode?
I don't think so.
This
Like a ventriloquist?
the ventriloquist puppet had a puppet, and then he left. He would take it off, and they would be in their green room, whatever, and the puppet would talk to him.
Oh, okay.
I was like, "Fuck puppets."
Yeah.
I never liked puppets. I never liked clowns. I never
Clowns.
fucking liked Santa.
Yeah, clowns always scared me, man.
Yeah.
Like there is nothing creepier than a vintage clown.
Oh,
Like Google it.
that's another thing at Grandma's house. There's always a oil painting of a fucking clown. I don't know why Grandma's like that shit.
Like on a piece of velvet,
Mhm.
like one of those velvet paintings.
Yeah.
Or yeah, like
and it's a drippy, oily painting, and the clown's always like sad.
he's holding a flower that's like wilted or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, so creepy.
Super scary.
A friend of mine in junior high and high school, his parents had an oil painting of a clown in their living room that looked like Lars Fredrickson from Rancid.
Oh, that's an
Like,
ugly clown.
had like red spiky hair, and it was doing like this weird, but it was like an old vintage like 1950s painting, and it always creeped the shit out of me when we'd stay the night. Like we'd joke about it, like, oh, it's like a punk rock clown, but at night I'm sleeping in the living room like,
Just wetting the bed.
fuck clowns.
I agree. Hey, fuck clowns.
Fuck clowns.
We can all agree on that, right? Clowns suck.
Yeah, I think we can.
What's even creepier, and I'm sorry to offend our base of clown listeners, but
Those are currently in clown college.
but that's the creepy thing, dude. People our age, older, younger, whatever, that are passionate about being a clown, that old send in the clowns. Oh, those clowns, man. What is creepier than going to the fair or something like that, and you see a man that's 50 and he's a fucking clown, man?
Yeah.
Like, hey, man, a job's a job.
What was the dude who used to be at the fair and he was in a dunk tank and he would talk shit?
Yeah. And he wasn't like super vulgar, but I do remember hearing things when I was a kid and my dad being like hurrying us along.
Oh, I
calling
heard
people fat for one.
Well, and then the other F word, I heard that one thrown
No
out
way.
a lot. Oh, yeah.
Like the F dash dash word?
Yeah.
A bundle of sticks?
Yeah, bundle of sticks.
Oh, my
Because you're
goodness.
throwing like a...
Whoa, really? Yeah. Do you think there's like a woke clown now?
Wokey the clown?
Wokey the clown, yeah.
Oh, boy. Based. No, no.
I didn't know that. I never heard anything. Maybe because my dad had his hands over my ears when we get too close.
I used to love going to that thing and watching him. Like, I liked watching him give people shit.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I got some enjoyment out of that when I got a little bit older. And like, do you remember that turning point in your life? The first year you got to break away from your parents.
At the fair?
All right, meet back at the Space Needle at 2:00.
Yeah.
It's like noon, you get a couple hours to like do your own thing. And I remember it was me and my friend Duncan that I grew up with, who turned out to be, he was a huge stoner.
Right.
And now he's like militia military guy.
Your dad gives you like $10 some to get food or whatever.
Yeah, you get a 10, maybe you get a crisp $20 bill. And you're gonna go find a knife.
Yeah. I say I'm buying funnel cakes and Coke or like Dr. Pepper or whatever the jug of root beer, but I'm going to that trasher stand and I'm buying a butterfly knife.
I'm getting a switchblade, damn
Yeah.
it. Like not a real switchblade, but one of those cheap, shitty ones,
Yeah.
whatever. But yeah, one year I bought a Zippo, and I used that with air quotes, a Zippo, and it had the Zigzag Man on it. And boy, did I think it didn't have any fluid.
Yeah.
The flint was probably half worn out from just me flicking it, being stupid.
Yeah.
But boy, did I think I was cool when I got my very first quote unquote Zippo.
Did you do Zippo tricks?
I could flick it open after a while, yeah, where you like hold it at the top and bottom
Yeah.
and then apply pressure, twist your wrist just right and like flick it open. But I couldn't light it while I had a friend that could do that.
Yeah, flick it and light at the same time. I remember, dude, I was actually just thinking about Zippos the other day. We were at a self-checkout at a store, and we're waiting for the next person. And there, these have candy and shit. But for some reason, there was like Bic lighters, and then there was like Zippos at the stand. And I smiled, like, man, I remember when Zippo lighter, when that was like fucking cool to have. Like, I didn't smoke cigarettes,
Right.
But I knew I wanted to have a Zippo lighter.
A Zippo to a young Robbie Ray was almost like a status symbol,
Yeah.
which, let's be honest, Zippos kind of suck. You never know when they're going to go out.
Yep.
They suck for, like, if you would to be inclined to light a bowl
Yeah.
of marijuana,
Yeah.
they suck for that.
Yeah.
When I did smoke cigarettes for a short time and I had a Zippo when I was younger, that first drag of the cig tasted terrible
like
with
butane.
the Zippo
Yeah.
fluid.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
so gross. Did you ever try to change the flint in one with that weird like screw that had to come
Oh,
out?
no. You're mistaken. I owned a Zippo and I would fill it with fluid and then that's it. Like when it went out, I'm like, well, fuck this thing.
Yeah.
I go get another one.
You can't light fireworks with it very
No.
well.
And if you
They
wanna
blow out in the wind.
If you want to light a cigarette, you have to do a trick to look. You have to do something that makes it look cool, or else you're just open it, click, and then no, you got to light it real quick, and then you got to flick it hard back closed.
I would used to hold one in my hand.
Yeah.
and then I would like flip it back and like the lid would open. Or I do the thing where like you flick it back on your jeans and then light it on your jeans.
Oh, that was always cool.
Oh man, I was the Zippo kid.
Yeah, but it always has to have something cool on it. I remember Rockabilia would always have cool designs. Like there was like a Grateful Dead bear on it. I remember the one I really wanted, and I didn't even really like the band. There was a White Zombie one.
Oh,
and
hell
it was I guess the zombie guy.
Was it the circle logo that said white on the top, zombie, and there's like this like grimacing zombie face,
like almost like Toxic Avenger looking zombie face.
Yeah, exactly.
I wanted that one so bad, but they were like $30 for a fucking lighter.
Oh yeah, a real Zippo. I mean, I know by today's standard that's not that much, I guess, but
right.
I remember always having
like
the fake
13,
one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, who's gonna drop $20 when you're 13?
Here's how trashy, in retrospect, I was. I asked for a Zippo lighter for Christmas one year.
Did you really?
Because I thought they were cool.
Did you get it?
No. Of course my parents aren't doing it. For what? What does a teenager possibly need with a lighter that is in any way positive?
That's what happens, man. You get the Zippo, and the only thing you hear is, "What do you need that for?
Uh-huh.
What are you lighting with that?" And I'd always look him dead in the eye and say, "Crack, motherfucker. What do you think? The kind of candy you smoke with the pipe." Yeah, pipe candy.
Pipe candy.
Yeah. I mean, I loved that, though, that seminal moment as a child, that first year you get to separate from your parents at the fair. Because it's like, I remember being a little dirtbag kid and like, okay, what can I do that I'm not supposed to? Like, not to get in trouble. I wouldn't steal. I wouldn't vandalize. But like,
sure,
I was a good kid. But it's like, what can I do now that dear old mom and dad aren't around?
Right. Like the minimal amount of like, what's the word I'm looking for? Being bad. Like it's like, does somebody do you guys have a cigarette?
Exactly.
We'll go smoke a cigarette over by the 4-H building.
Yeah. Or like, I remember like doing that classic like cruise for girls at the fair, which half of them are toothless and
right.
But I remember being like, oh man, you see her, and you do that thing that boys do when they hold their hands out to rate the breast size. And you're like, titties, man.
Just
titties.
trashy, just being stupid kids. Or did you ever like meet a girl at the fair?
No, not at the fair. No, I saved that for church camp and lock-ins, things like that.
Yeah, I remember like you finally get to go separate with your friends at the fair, or like Old Timers Day at Chalk. It was basically like a very small version of the fair,
a mini fair.
And but that was okay. You can go to that totally by yourself.
Oh yeah,
and a lot of things happened at those fairs. Those rides, I think, are made for finger banging.
Yeah, it's designed. The seats are designed for
to be. Yeah, you're gonna be this close, and my hand is gonna go right there.
And there's always like a bar in front of you, or a piece of metal, corrugated metal or something. Like you're good to go.
It's so trashy. Like I don't know what it is. I mean, as a kid, I used to love it. I loved the rides. I loved the whole atmosphere. And going this year, I mean, I was on mushrooms, so it was very, very fun. But there's nothing that's not trashy about the fair.
No.
Like it's just the people that work there. They're carnies,
Yeah, dude. I mean, imagine that lifestyle.
Being a carny,
working open to close every day of the fair, setting it up, tearing it down, on to the next city. Because I'm pretty sure, isn't the Texas State Fair like right after hours?
Yeah,
or right before, something like that.
Yeah, and then they go up to the Tulsa and they do Tulsa Fair.
That's right.
And it's just that you're traveling until the summer's done, basically, or I guess the fall or whatever.
There's got to be some good, like, fair or carny documentaries, I guess.
Yeah. Well, I mean you got to wonder what the after parties are like, because they all stay in they all have trailers.
Oh yeah.
Or what do you call those? Like Winnebagos or whatever. Those guys are getting down.
There's probably some crack smoking.
Definitely some meth being smoked.
Oh yeah, yeah. Maybe not even crack. Maybe like Yellow Jackets and like cheap speed
and a lot of drinking.
Yeah, a lot of drinking.
Yeah, I could only imagine.
I've never known anybody that was a carny. I would love to get a carny on the show.
Well, from what I've heard, it's a familial thing. Like it's generational. Like my dad was a carny, his dad was a carny. It's like you're in the biz.
Is there a if we were to draw a Venn diagram, is there a carny and a gypsy crossover? Because when I hear the word gypsy, I think of Borat or something like that,
Right.
you know. But like gypsies are a real thing, man,
Yeah.
and that's another weird rabbit hole you can go down.
Yeah,
I mean,
the Romas.
and I don't even know if that, it's 2020. I don't know if that's like a derogatory term.
No, you can't say. I don't think you can say the word anymore. Although I think it's a very nice. It's a fantastical word.
It is. It's like mythological.
Yeah, when I think of gypsies, like it reminds me of like fairies or something from like medieval times. Like
Yeah.
they were a roving band of gypsies.
Yeah, I imagine like belly dancers. And
Yeah,
shit
like a lot
that.
of
scimitars.
scarves.
Yeah.
Scarves and headbands. A lot of rings.
I mean, there was a show not too long ago, and maybe it's still a thing, but like My Big Fat Gypsy Wedding
Was that a thing?
on TLC. It was like a reality series. Yeah.
And then you had that movie Snatched, which gave them a bad name.
Yeah. I'd love to get a carny or a gypsy on the show.
Hey, if you guys know a carny or a gypsy or whatever they're to be called nowadays,
Right.
hit us up, Boys at Boys Podcast. We'd love to have them on. If you know anyone in the biz,
Yeah. Send them our way.
send them our way.
We'll send you a sticker. So one year at the fair, I do remember I unveiled a fresh new look.
What was this look, Robbie?
Well, it was a popular hairstyle at the time,
Uh-huh.
mid-90s.
Okay.
I think it was 94. And so one day I woke up and there was a new hairstyle sweeping the nation. And what it was, so the sides and the back are nice and short.
Mm-hmm.
The top and the front's a little bit longer, and it was gelled, combed forward, and then you just take those scissors and you just go straight across the front,
Ah, yes.
and it was known as the Caesar cut. And boy, did I have to have one of those cuts. Before that, I was rocking like the skater, like bowl butt cut.
Sure, like
undercut.
side spike or something like
Yeah.
that.
But when I saw my first Caesar, I knew I had to have it.
I
I got it.
I remember when the Caesar took storm, dude. It
What was the first Caesar
Dude.
that you remember?
I distinctly he did it way after. George Clooney did the Caesar.
Mm-hmm. Oh, he was the king of the Caesar.
King of the Caesar.
King of the Caesar.
Who had the first Caesar that I see? Well, okay. Do you remember the movie Empire Records?
Yep.
The character confused my brain, it's not working. The character who wore the turtleneck who lost all the money.
I know who you're talking about.
He had a black Caesar. And I thought that was super cool. So much so that one day at school I decided to dress like him.
Oh, you got the turtleneck?
I had a black turtleneck.
Okay.
It was ribbed
Strike
and wore
one.
it. Oh, it was so lame.
And you had a Caesar?
Had a Caesar.
Dude, I'll take it a step further.
Lucas, character's name.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll take it a step further. I had the bleached Caesar.
The Eminem?
The
Pre-Eminem Eminem.
I think it was pre-Eminem, to be honest, because I was bleaching my hair already. My side spike, my butt cut, whatever.
Now, was this
skater cut?
Was this bleach Caesar bleach with maybe a little root showing?
This was fresh because I got it done the night before I went to the fair. So I was a bright yellowish white
Just a crispy Caesar.
towhead. Yeah, dude, a bleach Caesar. I thought I was so cool. I remember I was wearing a Red Hot Chili Peppers t-shirt, a set of freshly washed Jinko jeans,
Yeah.
some shell toes, and boy, when I finally got that go ahead to walk away from my parents, was I just strutting?
Because you looked cool.
You know that gif of Vince McMahon walking into
like,
the
whoa,
ring?
yeah.
That's me at the fair in '94.
Because you felt, I know I look cool.
I know I look
And
good.
I bet I could pass for like 19 right
Yeah,
now.
yeah. Like, I bet I could bum a smoke.
Oh, yeah.
I don't have to go snipe hunting.
Yeah. Someone's going to think I'm in a band.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because I'm wearing a rock T-shirt,
And because I have a bleach Caesar.
a bleach fucking.
Caesar. That haircut was everywhere. It was in the rock world. It was in it was everywhere. The fucking Justin Timberlake rocked a Caesar for a long time. Very popular cut. I never understood how it was a rock and roll haircut.
Yeah, there's not much crossover there. When I think Caesar, I think, like you said, George Clooney, King of the Caesar. I would say Eminem's a close second. And definitely wears the crown of king of the bleach Caesars.
Oh, 100%.
There's others though. I mean, Joaquin Phoenix from Gladiator.
Yeah, well, he played Caesar.
He was Caesar.
Here's the thing, though. So the hairstyle was named after the Emperor Caesar.
Julius Caesar.
Julius Caesar. And from what we know from paintings and sculptures, he had a Caesar, but it was at the back of the head. Like the balding man Caesar.
Okay.
Like where it's kind of...
So did he have a big forehead?
Very large forehead.
Okay. Yeah, I need to look up some new pics of
But then the
JC.
the little Caesar doesn't have a Caesar at all.
No.
It's got a skirt
Yeah, he's like a skirted eggshell.
with a, what do you call that? The leaves
The
around
laurel
the head?
leaves.
The laurel leaves.
Yeah, and that's, I didn't ever take it that far where I needed to adorn
Adorn
my
with laurel
Caesar.
leaves?
Yeah, I didn't need to accessorize my Caesar, but I rocked the Caesar for a while, and
Yeah.
then one day, then it kind of morphed, though. Then it morphed into the Caesar
Front spike?
with the front spike.
front spike.
So you'd Caesar it up, and in the very front of your bangs, I guess,
Yeah.
you'd flip up that front spike.
But it's still flat.
Oh yeah, very flat, very gelled, very scalpy.
Almost like a wall. You go flat and then whip right
Yeah,
up.
like a wave.
Yeah.
And I rocked that for a while. I thought that was
Yeah.
cool, and then started experimenting.
But no, I think it's that the Caesar is the first step into the spike. So you put up the front, you go, okay, that's cool. What if I
I take it back some.
just spike the rest of this stuff up? It'll look pretty cool.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I was one of my finest moments as a young man. My senior yearbook, there was a picture of me with a caption talking about how I fix my hair. Because I had I guess I had cool hair.
You had the coolest hair, that's for sure.
Well, chalk it up to good parenting. I
It was a
guess.
small town.
Yes, it was.
Dudes did not dye their hair then.
Nope.
You did.
I did, yeah. Luckily, I had a sister who was very into that kind of stuff, and she was only a couple years younger than me.
Yeah.
So,
Worked out.
off to Beauty Co. I'd go with her.
So would you say the Caesar was the worst haircut you had?
Man, I've had some bad ones. So
Yeah.
probably not. I would say that the worst haircut I ever had was, it was the when I was in my new metal band in like 99 or 98, maybe 97.
Right.
But I had the entire shaved head with the long front, the coal chamber cut.
Yeah, the Meigs cut.
Yeah.
But here, you
That's
say
the
that
worst
now, but
haircut.
at the time, you thought that haircut was bitchin'.
Oh, I mean, I wouldn't have sported it if I didn't think it was bitchin'. However, looking back, terrible.
Yeah.
Terrible. Like, what was I thinking?
What was that about?
But you know what? If I look back and I say, what was I thinking about hair? I think I pretty much lived on the straight and narrow.
Right. Yeah, I mean, most of my cuts were pretty safe. You start with the butt cut, the bowl cut, the side spike, the Caesar,
The
front spike,
Mhm.
the messy, the faux hawk. But I did one in high school that was kind of what you did. It was shaved. Head shaved.
Are we
Before-
talking we're talking like clipper cut shave?
I'm talking like
Not
a
bald.
one guard.
Okay,
like
the
almost
shortest you
all
can
the
go
shortest you can
before
go.
it's bald.
Still
Okay.
stubble. But I had sideburns. I decided to leave those sideburns.
Oh, wow.
Because I was really into Arlo Eisenberg, the rollerblader.
Okay.
And then I kept the front spiked.
So you had the front spike.
Yeah.
The rest was shaved.
Yeah. Sideburns. And then
And they were some thick sideburns. You've
I had
always
I had big
been able to
chops.
grow a pretty
But
bitchin'
then-
beard.
But then I had a goatee.
Are there pictures of this?
Oh, there are. I will post them.
I would like to see
They're
one.
it's not cool. And I thought and I was wearing garbage around my neck. It wasn't a great time, but at the time I thought I'm unique,
Yeah. Oh,
which
yeah.
was true.
Yeah.
No one else looked like me.
Well, no one else wanted
Not
to
a
look like
good
an
thing.
asshole. Yeah.
That's very true.
I know that feeling very well, my friend.
It was just it's a time, and when I think back on that time, I think about the things my parents would say to me, and how at the time I thought you don't understand.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
they
dude,
did.
You did.
They did.
You look like a fucking doofus, and I want to say that to so many kids you see, like you walk through the mall and you see, it's like you look like a fucking doofus.
Mhm.
But
Well, I tell you what, man,
Other place.
it's going to get easier because, things are changing. Laws are changing. What are your thoughts on that? You know what? That seemed like it slid in so under the radar. I didn't even know about it.
I thought it was a joke. I learned about it through a meme.
And what are we talking about here?
The raising the smoking age to 21.
Mm-hmm.
I saw a meme about it, and the meme was this soldier being carried out of a thing, saying, "Oh, I sure could use a smoker right now. If only I were 21." I'm like, "What are you talking about?"
Yeah, I saw something similar. It was like a soldier, and he had his head in his hands.
Mm-hmm.
Like you could tell he was just like really like, I don't know, depressed, stressed out, something. And it was
Yeah.
like, just got my 13th confirmed kill in World War III. Damn, I could go for a cigarette, but I'm not old enough, or something like that. You know?
And so I looked it up, like, sure enough, just under the radar, they raised the smoking age to 21. And I'm not a smoker, so I don't really give a shit. But can you just take that back and go, you got to be 21 now? What happens if you had a pack of cigarettes, you're 19 years old, law passes, do you have to throw the cigarettes away?
No, you have to do that cool thing that people do when they quit smoking and they post a picture of themselves like running water over them.
Oh.
Like, last one of these, man, I swear.
The last one. I would be, if I was a 19-year-old smoker, I would be pissed.
I could see that.
Like, dude, like 2 days ago, I could go to a 7-Eleven and buy these, and now I can't.
And now I can't.
I could die for my country, but I can't smoke a cigarette. I'll say this: I could die for my country, but I can't drink a fucking beer.
Yeah, I know. That's an argument as old as time, man.
But the changing the age.
I saw a sign on a convenience store door that said, due to Donald Trump's new law, we will no longer sell cigarettes to anyone under the age of 21. And I just thought it was weird that like did Donald Trump swing by that 7-Eleven and be like, all right, listen, new rules.
Personal appearance.
Yeah, like he's doing the circuit of 7-Elevens.
Listen, I'm going around to all these 7-Elevens. You can't sell cigarettes to anyone under 21 anymore. Sorry.
Well, listen, I'm not a smoker. I flirted with cigarettes for a long time.
I would say I did the same.
Yeah, like
I flirted with
I wasn't a pack-a-day guy. I was never a cigarette in the morning kind of guy.
No.
Like, that used to gross me out.
I'd have to smoke like at night with a beer.
A beer, yeah. Like I didn't, like after I ate lunch, I was like, I really need a cigarette. I never took cigarette breaks at my job. I mean, maybe if I wanted to like go outside for a few minutes.
Did you ever have this? Like, it's maybe like in your late teens, early 20s. The group of buddies who, hey, let's go to Taco Bell and get some burritos for lunch or whatever. And then as soon as you leave the restaurant, they light up and smoke cigarettes on the way to the car.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, why?
Like, it was the walk outside, pop that cigarette out, tilt the head so you don't burn your butt cut.
Yeah.
Light that joker with your Zippo.
But is it really that? I mean, I guess, it's a thing.
I guess if you're like really addicted. I don't know. I was never super addicted to cigarettes, so I wouldn't know. But, I haven't smoked a cigarette in a long time. I never plan on doing it again.
Yeah.
But I'd love to hear some feedback. So if you disagree with what I'm about to say, email us, boys@boyspodcast.com.
Mm-hmm.
I'd love to hear some different opinions.
Sure.
But I'm okay with the age going up.
Yeah.
Like, who cares? Like, I think they should raise the smoking age to 75.
Sure.
Because if you're 75 and you start smoking, by all means, go for it.
My mom did that. My mom never smoked her entire life.
When did she start? Like, do you remember what age?
My parents got divorced when I was 18-ish. She started smoking a few years after that. She was probably in her 50s.
Who starts smoking at the age of 50?
My mom's listening right now. My crazy-ass mom starts smoking in her 50s. And I'm sure she regrets it now. Like, why
Does
did I
she
start
smoke
doing it?
now?
She still does.
Tammy, we gotta quit.
Gotta quit smoking.
Kick it, baby.
Kick it. I don't. Who starts smoking in their 50s? But
I don't know. My grandfather smoked from as far back as I can remember. Like, I remember being a little kid at my grandparents' house, and he would always smoke Camel unfiltered cigarettes, like a man cigarette.
Jesus.
And he quit cold turkey one day.
Just stop.
Just put him down. Never touched him again. He's still alive. He's freaking 93 years old now. Healthy as a hog.
Good for him.
Is that the term? Healthy as a hog.
Healthy as a hog, man.
Them healthy hogs.
Horse.
But healthy as a horse. That's it. But just quit cold turkey. And I understand. Like, quitting anything that you're addicted to is hard.
Yeah.
Whether it's cigarettes, alcohol, drugs, gambling, shopping.
Pussy. It's hard.
It's all hard, man. But I'm just what I'm saying here is I'm really glad I never got super addicted to cigarettes, because I loved that feeling of like a cold beer and a warm ciggy.
Yeah.
They just went hand in hand, literally hand in hand.
I'm I totally understand it. Like, if I'm I'm drunk if I ask for a cigarette,
Right.
and I'll do
A
it.
telltale sign.
And I'll take one, and I'll take that first puff, and last time I did it was at, oddly enough, at the high-low. Who would have thought?
Yeah.
I took a puff.
Standard
and
issue.
Out loud, I say, I get it. I totally understand why all you guys are addicted to these, because that first puff is fucking amazing, and you're chasing the dragon of that first puff. It's what I'm feeling right now. You're not going to feel again. It's that, your whole body tingles, and you feel great. You almost feel high.
Yeah. Well, it is. I mean, it is a high. It's just a very subtle. The buzz is what they call it. The nicotine buzz.
But you only get it once. It's hard to get it back.
Yeah.
You know?
I'm just so glad. Like, if you're a smoker and you're listening, do you?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to judge you. I know a ton of people that smoke, and I'm not like, you fucking idiot.
World's about to end. Smoke them up. I say,
World War III, baby.
Do whatever you want to do. If you want to drink, do what you want to do. If you want to smoke, do what you want. Your body, your choice.
Yeah.
Do whatever you want. But whatever you were going to say.
Well, just, stop. Try to stop.
Try to stop.
It saves money.
It does save a lot of money.
You know what's funny? Quitting vices saves you money.
True. But sometimes it leads to other things that cost you way more money.
That is true. Usually, I'll speak from personal experience. When I quit a vice, I pick something else up. And it might not even be related. It might not be, okay, I quit this, so I started smoking. But it might be like, the thinking is always, well, I got all this extra money. I can buy this.
Yeah.
I'll get that new guitar thing I've been wanting, or that new computer graphics card or something. Like, I'm saving all this money.
Yeah.
Which is the same thing I did when I paid my car off. My car payment was $300 a month. Put a nice little chunk down. I drive a cheap car. Wasn't a super expensive vehicle. As soon as I paid my car off, my thinking was, damn, I'm saving $300+ a month. And then I just blow it on other stupid shit. Like, I should be putting that $300 in my savings account.
Sure.
Month after month.
Yeah.
I've had my car paid off for almost a year now. But do I? No.
Because it's freed up. It goes to this and this.
It goes to Warhammer miniatures.
Those many. That's your addiction.
I got 2 boxes of unpainted Warhammer.
Are you going to be on the next My Strange Addiction? I'm addicted to painting Warhammer.
I'm not even addicted to painting them. They're not painted. They're sitting there waiting to be built.
I'm addicted to buying unpainted Warhammers.
And sitting on them and going, I'm going to paint these someday.
But no, but that law change thing, I don't think we've really experienced anything like that in our lifetime. But like, we had our dads on, and our dads talked about the time when the drinking age raised from 18 to 21. So, and I'm sure that was weird for them too. So it's like, I don't know. It seems like all of these things are happening kind of all at the same time. Australia's literally on fire. We're finally going to war, maybe, with Iran.
It's not happening. I'm setting the record straight here. I don't want to get too political.
Sure.
It ain't happening. I'm predicting.
Sure.
Okay, I could be wrong. It ain't happening.
I'm saying there's just so much shit going on at once. Like, what a way to start 2020.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's like, pretty crazy.
And it happens every year. 2019, what the fuck was that about?
Yeah. Hey, you know what? Fuck you, 2019.
2020, my year.
New
It's
year,
not.
new me, baby.
It's not. New year, same you. Just be you, man.
New year, same old Robbie Ray. I'll
Same
tell you
old
that
me.
much, man. I didn't change shit. We talked about resolutions a little bit on the last ep, so we don't have to go down that rabbit hole, but I don't know if I mentioned this last week, but the only resolution I really thought about, and it wasn't like, it's just something I need to do anyways.
Right.
Is just be a little more positive. Like, and not that I don't really consider myself a super negative guy, but I let things bother me. I internalize things and I sit on it and I stew on it.
I feel you.
And I'm just like, bro, let it roll off like water off a duck's back. Just don't worry about it, man.
Yeah.
Sun will come up tomorrow. You'll have a whole new set of problems tomorrow morning.
Yeah.
Just live in the now.
Dude, I was thinking about that today, walking between shops, and I was looking at the beautiful sky. Sun was out. I was thinking, man, why do I get upset about things? Why do I let things bother me? And it always goes to I've turned my fear of death thing into, sooner or later, this old body's going to be dead. Why am I going to waste my time being upset about stuff while I'm here?
Totally.
Just let it go, dude. There's nothing you can do about it.
Easier said than done, though.
It is.
But I'm trying, man.
Mm-hmm.
I've really made an effort. Like, for instance, we have 2 puppies at the Harris house.
Mm-hmm.
One very good puppy and one very bad puppy.
I think that's all perspective.
It might be, man. It might be.
You got to turn that around.
But I'm trying to like be cooler about the bad one, and realizing she's the younger one.
Mm-hmm.
She's still very much a puppy. They're gonna chew on things. They're gonna piss on the hardwood floor.
Mm-hmm.
Thank God we have wood floors. It's easy to clean up, you know. Because got carpet with a puppy. Oh,
I'm gonna
boy.
say it. I'm putting it on my list. Carpet. It's for poor people. Get it out of here.
All right.
I fucking hate carpet.
Going on the list.
Going on the list.
First one of 2020.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'm trying to like, instead of getting mad and letting it like piss me off for the rest of the night, I'm really trying to just clean it up, put her outside, show her where to go pee. If she's chewing on something, you know, give her like, put a toy in her mouth.
Yeah.
Like, this is what you chew on, not this. Don't scream and be like, I fucking hate this dog.
Pick it up and throw it out the door.
I don't.
No, and like you said, it's easier said than done. And that's not to say like let people walk over you
Right.
or all that. Like stand up for yourself. But if it's something like, you know, and I think we should do that in all aspects of life.
Across the board.
Across the board. If someone's on your Facebook feed and is yelping about something you don't agree with, you don't have to say anything. Just be like, you know what, that guy seems like he's in a dark place. I'm just gonna walk away from that.
Sage wisdom, my friend.
You know what I mean?
Just live and let live is what I say.
That should be 2020's motto. Just live and let live, dude. As long as you're not hurting anybody and I'm not hurting anybody, let's just put a fucking pause on anger. Just stop.
I like it. I tell you what, we got to end it, man. We hit our hour. We're good to go. I do want to throw in real quick. We did make it through the entire episode without talking about Blink 405, but I just quickly wanted to say we did set up an Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, all that. I would say the most important is probably the Instagram. So follow us, our little side project that we're so happy with, and things are trucking along. We got some cool plans coming up. We got some shows booked. We've got talk of recording, to shop out, to get some gigs.
I think it's really cool that we started this thing on a whim, not to do anything but one thing.
Yeah, just for fun, man.
And it ended up being like, I really enjoy doing this. Speaking of doing positive things, this is a very positive thing I like doing. This podcast is a very positive thing. And I hope for you listeners, it's a positive thing for you. Keep on doing positive shit. We're going to keep bringing you positive shit.
Well, the first thing you can do, you can positively head over to Instagram. It's at blink.405. Blink.405. Give us a follow. We got a bunch of follows out of the gate, which was super cool.
Yeah.
The whole reason we set this up, like, we're not trying to like spam or anything like that, but a couple people asked us like, hey, you guys got an Instagram? Well, we do now. We have Twitter and Facebook and all that stuff, but anything we do, noteworthy, show announcements, stuff like that, we'll put on the at blink.405 on Instagram. Give us a follow.
Yeah.
And we'll see you next week.
Bye.